Hi everyone, I hope you're well and keeping safe. Today's assembly is based on a book that I've been reading at home, which I'm hoping lots of you are going to find very interesting, and some of you might even have a copy of this. If not, definitely try and get hold of one because it is just fantastic. So this book is all about great women throughout history, and they've all done something amazing and incredible that has helped shape our society and where we are today. And I've chosen one woman who travelled into space, which is just a fantastic thing that I don't think I'd be brave enough to do, but well done to her. So she's called Valentina Tereshkova, a fantastic lady who I'm going to read you some information about now, and I'm going to set you a little task just to get your brains thinking about space travel. So in 1961, in the Soviet Union, which is now Russia, 24-year-old Valentina Tereshkova heard the amazing news that her country had sent the first man up into space. Which is just absolutely fantastic. And his name was Yuri Gagarin. And in Russia, they were called cosmonauts rather than astronauts. So you might hear that word thrown about a few times in this. At the time, the Soviet Union and the USA were competing to make a breakthrough in space exploration. The competition was known as the space race. Now, some of you might have been learning about this before we broke up in the holidays, so you might have a little bit of a head start on some of the tasks I'm going to set. The Soviets, they wanted their next space first to be sending a woman up into space. And the adventure of space travel seemed a million miles away from Valentina's job, which is where she worked in a textiles factory. So very different to going up and travelling into space. But she discovered that she shared a daring hobby with the first man in space, actually, and that was skydiving. If you don't know what skydiving is, it's where you go up into the sky in a plane, and then once you reach a certain level, you jump out of the plane with a parachute on your back to help you land to the ground. It's quite a daredevil thing to do, isn't it? And this was her hobby, so she's very brave. And it says here, if being able to parachute had helped Yuri Gagarin become a cosmonaut, then maybe, just maybe, she was thinking it might help her too. So in 1962, impressed by Valentina's skydiving experience, the Soviet space program selected her to train as a cosmonaut. So it did help her in the end. All that training actually did have a good impact. And parachuting would turn out to be a very important skill, and this was because it was the only way for cosmonauts to make a safe landing. And what they had to do is they had to parachute from their spacecraft as it fell back down to Earth. So all those skills that she'd been practicing would become very useful. After more than a year of intensive training, in June 1963, Valentina's dreams soared higher than ever before, and she was launched into space aboard the spacecraft Vostok 6. I don't think that's something I'd want to do. She's very, very brave. Valentina's mission itself lasted 2 days, 22 hours and 50 minutes, and it made 48 orbits of the Earth. That's incredible. And floating in zero gravity, Valentina monitored devices that tracked how space travel was affecting her body. Because I can imagine it's not easy being up in space. It's very different, isn't it, without any gravity up there. And she also took photographs of the Earth's atmosphere. Wow, that's just, what an incredible experience that she got to have there. But down here it says mission almost successful, and I thought this was quite a fun bit actually when I was reading it, and it said everyone thought that the mission was a complete success, but almost 30 years later it was revealed that Valentina narrowly averted disaster. And while she was on her adventure, she realised that Vostok 6 had been programmed to jet out actually into space on its return journey rather than safely back towards the Earth. And so Valentina was asked, though, that to keep that mistake a secret so that nothing would detract her from an amazingly successful mission. So, yeah, she was quite an incredible woman, and definitely I'd say someone who made history out of this book. But there's just so many other people who I want to share with you about over the next coming weeks, but that's my first starting point. So I've got a little task for you to complete at home, and maybe you can get your family involved or your older and younger siblings as well to help you try and find out these facts. And if you've got any, hopefully you can send them into school to share with me what you've found. So we know that Valentina went up into space and did a bit of space exploration. That was one of the missions that she had. But since then, lots of other people have had the opportunity to go and do space travel as well, and not just humans. So I want you to have a little research and find out, have any animals ever been sent up into space? And if so, what? And did they actually come back alive? Fingers crossed. And did any other humans go up into space? And if they were, did they travel to any planets, or have they been to the moon? So I want you to have a little think and a little find out for me. Who were the people who've travelled into space? Whether any animals went up there, and has anyone managed to get to the moon? And I can't wait to hear from you all and find out what you've found out about space travel. Take care. Bye.